Hello, friends and neighbors. This is Heath-man coming at you again with another Mega65 demo. Tonight's demo will be featuring the Barnsley Fern Fractals. I've been playing around with fractals today, so got a couple different versions of it here, but this is the one that's probably the most interesting. Real simple interpretation of the fractal. Essentially one little loop that goes around forever and just plots points, individual dots on a 640 by 400 screen with a couple different colors. And if you look on the wiki page, you can find the functions pretty easy. There's just 4 different functions. I've implemented them here as subroutines. So I just do a little go sub for each one. And I'll let you see it live. I'll just run it here. And you can see, I think I picked like 4 or 5 different colors to randomly draw it on there. But it's actually faster if you just pick one color and one pen, but it looks neater when you have multiple colors. So this will, I guess, run indefinitely. So it's in like a do loop, so there's no end. But I'm not sure if it will ever run out of memory. It's all programmed in BASIC, so I let it run maybe 30 minutes, an hour or so ago, and it didn't have any hiccups, so it will just continue to draw dots. And because it's a fractal, each little leaf in this little fern looking thing should be sort of a mirror image of the whole thing. So I mean, the idea is it would get infinitely small. As much as you zoom in, you should be able to see the same pattern repeated over and over again. So it's just a neat little thing to do on the Mega65. I'm sure it would be much faster in machine language, but very simple to code in BASIC. So that's what it looks like in full color. I'll just stop it with a break and show you a couple of different other versions here. I created a low-res version on like just not as many dots per inch. So this one's 320 by 200. Also has just one color in this version, so you can see it should draw it a lot faster, but with just one color and not as high resolution, it's a little bit harder to see the fractal pattern because it's just not as high res, but also just a good way to see how it works. And then stop that one. Let me show you another version here. This is the high-res version with a single color. So in this case, I think I just picked green. Just run it. So single color with the high-res screen. So this is the tinier dots, and it should, technically it should run a little bit faster because it's not having to find a random color every single cycle in the loop. But it's just using the same fixed color, so it should save it a lot of time. I have noticed that when I run this, I don't know if this is a problem with the Mega65 or maybe it's something goofy with the random function, but I can tell there's a noticeable difference in the fractal pattern on multiple runs. I'm not sure what's causing that. If I load this from scratch, from a rebooted Mega65, I can see the image much clearer. And you can see here's the 3rd time I've run it, and you can see it's quite a bit of the pattern missing close to the center line of the. So it's interesting to me that I know it's random, but it just doesn't look random in this case. It should generate a very similar image every time. But so I'll try it one more time, and you can see if it changes here. Just a very interesting observation. I'm not sure if that means anything, but because it's random, maybe the order that it's drawing it in shouldn't look the same every time. But I've noticed on repeat runs that I get a really different looking pattern. You can see this; it's a lot emptier in the center there. Whereas if I run it from straight from scratch, those center line pieces are definitely there. So maybe the problem is my X and my Y are not, reset to 0 every time. And so they should be, because the program sets them to 0 before the loop. So I'm not sure what else could be going on here. Maybe something to look into. But anyway, just interesting. And if you're interested in looking at fractals at all, there's plenty of wiki pages on how to generate these. And the Mega65 is just a great platform to try something like this out. And it's really fast, simple to program, and this was maybe 30 lines of code. The main function in here is probably 7 lines of code, and then you got these little sub functions that are 2 lines each. So you could do this in just a really small amount of code. But anyway, enjoy. I'll load this on the file host so you guys can play around with it. Have a good one.